Hi everybody, my name is Joe. I'm a doctoral student studying clinical psychology, and this is Psych Made Simple. Now today we're going to finish up our series on the 6 core components of acceptance and commitment therapy, or ACT. That doesn't mean it's the last, important topic to talk about related to ACT, but among just the videos about these 6 topics, it's going to be the last one. And today we're going to be covering self as context. Now, similarly to our previous video about contact with the present moment, this is one of those middle experiences that kind of includes both accepting what cannot be changed and changing things that can. So this process can help us commit to actions that help live out our values and kind of change what we can, and also helps us accept the thoughts and experiences that we're having. And the main idea of this, it's pretty simple. It's just as it says, observing self, pure awareness of thoughts, behaviors, and moods. And the way that I phrase this really simply is just objective and detached observation of your thoughts, feelings, and sensations. So this is trying not to be judgmental of what's happening to yourself, but trying to just objectively experience it. So whether it be a sensation like physical pain of like, oh, I have a cut on my hand, trying not to put an evaluation on top of that and say, oh, I screwed up and I made a horrible mistake by accidentally cutting myself when I was cutting vegetables. I'm a screw up and I'm a terrible person. That would be adding on an evaluation to what really happened. But what really happened right now is that you're observing that you have a cut on your hand. And kind of doing that objective, detached observation helps you address whatever the thought, feeling, or sensation is in usually a better way than those more biased ones that have those evaluations on top of them, those biased observations. And one example or analogy that I thought is really helpful for practicing this self as context component of ACT is thinking of yourself as a stadium. So that's why I have a picture of a stadium here. And if you think of a stadium, a lot of times, what do you think of a stadium for first and foremost? A lot of times you might think, oh, that's where, soccer games, football games, whatever it may be, those are where those happen. So that's a really exciting place. When you go there, you're super excited. But I think at the same time, when you think about a stadium, most of the time the stadium's empty and maybe nothing's happening to it. Or sometimes maybe there's a concert in it, and that's, still exciting, but a lot different than a sporting event. Or maybe, this probably has happened sometime in history. Maybe there's a stadium where there was a funeral in it for someone famous or something like that, and it's kind of more of a sad, solemn event at this stadium. And what I'm trying to get at here is that there are a lot of different different types of experiences that can happen in that same stadium, and none of those individual experiences define the stadium as a whole. And the idea of self as context is kind of thinking of yourself as that stadium. A lot of times we attach extra evaluations on top of the experiences that we're having, but similar to that stadium analogy, there's a lot of different experiences that happen to us over time. And it's not that one experience of, say, having a cut on your hand or something like that, it's not that defines us as a whole, similarly to how having a soccer game in the stadium is not the only thing that defines a stadium. Or if you think of yourself as a really outgoing person because you like to go to parties and you like to socialize with people, that is part of who you are. But a lot of times you're sleeping, a lot of times you're doing work by yourself, a lot of times you're at home, maybe by yourself, and that is another part of your experience beyond just that definition that you put on yourself. So kind of thinking of yourself as that stadium and thinking, okay, maybe I define myself as an extrovert, or I define the stadium as, where exciting football games happen or soccer games happen, but instead trying to look at the overall picture and say, okay, what are all the different events that are happening at the stadium, or what are all the different thoughts, feelings, and sensations that happen in my life, and try to observe it more objectively and not attach labels or completely define the stadium or define yourself by individual aspects of yourself. So hopefully that was helpful to kind of understand that self as context part of ACT, and hopefully the stadium analogy was helpful too, of just kind of recognizing that there's multiple different things that happen to you, similar to how there's multiple different events that might happen at a stadium. And yeah, I hope that was helpful. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and if you'd like to leave a comment, if you have any questions or anything like that, that would be great. And I'm always happy to read any comments that have to do with like suggestions for future videos, because I'd love to just make this channel really helpful to you guys, and ultimately just help you guys understand yourself and understand psychology better. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.